You might recall during the campaign for President Trump in 2016 that he promised over and over and over and over and over again that Mexico was going to pay for this proposed border wall.
Oh yeah.
I have one of the first tweets in front of me. September 1st, 2016. Mexico will pay for the wall, it says here. But now that he's president, Trump has to grapple with the reality that Mexico has no interest in helping him out. And instead of, dropping the idea, which is something he should have done a long time ago, except for, he went on the phone and he was talking to the Mexican president saying, like, hey, you can't say this out in public because it's going to make me look bad, kind of things. Like, fuck you, senor. So Trump's new plan is to make the U.S. taxpayers spend tens of billions of dollars on a project that border agents don't think is necessary, even though he'll claim that it was necessary from them, and that costs the equivalent of about 500 elementary schools. So in recent days, the president and other White House officials have indicated that Trump is willing to shut down the federal government unless he gets $1.6 billion from Congress as a down payment on this wall, which is just automatically a bad idea.
That's a huge bad. That's such a terrible. No.
That's not a reason to shut down the federal government at all.
No.
Okay,
no.
So
Please prepare the veto overrides.
Yeah. During the White House press briefing on Thursday, reporters asked the press secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, I don't know how she gets
I don't know why they even ask her questions.
Yeah, because she doesn't answer them. Just like Spicer didn't answer anything. We lost the mooch. The mooch would at least been funny to hear what he was going to say. I love how Reddit has turned that into a unit of time where they measure things in nowadays.
They measure them in mooches.
No, that's equivalent of like 2 Scaramucci's. It's like Currix being the equivalent, like how they measure crap and stuff. It's great. So during the press briefing, they asked her how the Trump administration can reconcile the fact that Trump and all of his campaign rhetoric with his current situation, suggestion that if American taxpayers don't pony up for the wall, he's going to shut down the government. So Sanders completely dodged the questions and instead decided to talk about how Trump is, quote, committed to making sure this gets done. And then she also said, quote, we're going to continue to push forward and make sure that the wall gets built. And so at that point, when Sanders was asked why Trump no longer promises that Mexico is going to pay for the wall, she replied that he hasn't said that they're not either. So she's trying to play mind games with the press, and you're muted. He hasn't said that they're not either. They're
you
not
don't
going
try to play mind games with the press. They're better at it than you.
So a reporter on so here's how it went. The reporter on the shutdown thread. He's not saying that Mexico is going to pay for the border wall. And Sanders says, well, he hasn't said they're not either. It's just like, I could just think of so many skits that you can make off of something like this where he's like, well, the president's not an idiot. You don't want to go into that territory. So the White House wants you to believe that a border wall is national security, but it's really not, because Enrique Peña Nieto indicated otherwise. And we heard the transcripts from the Washington Post that leaked out. And it embarrassed the shit out of him. Mm-hmm. Trump characterized the wall as the least important thing that we're talking about. But politically, this might be the most important thing we talk about, he says. So, hey, Trump voters, you got sold. You got sold a raft of shit.
Big time. Huge one.
And he this is what he said to Nieto when he was on the phone call with him. He says, you cannot say anymore that the United States is going to pay for the wall. I'm just going to say that we're working it out, he told him. It's like, nope. I'm glad that leaked because it just makes him look like that much of an idiot. How dare you? That's your president. You should not make him look like, you don't want him to look like an idiot. That makes the rest of us look like idiots. Well, at this point in America, yes, we're all fucking idiots at this point. Yeah. I own mine. But that's how it's going to be. You can own as much bad shit that the government does, but you won't ever get the other side to admit to it. They won't be complicit in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when it's actually backed by stats and figures and real quotes.
Oh, of course not. Yeah,
As compared to the bullshit that they tried to sell us with Obama. It's like, come on,
Yeah.
guys, really? Jesus.